hard, each and lost in the words I say. I don't push pause, no, I push play. I won't stop till I make a change. I withdraw on the things I make. I turn flaws into flawless traits. I build tall, never capped in space. I won't stop till I hear him say,
Hey, welcome back. We're here for Married at First Sight, season 15, San Diego. Where are they now? How's everybody doing?
I
Hey,
am
Kim.
doing well. Doing
Oh,
well. Hope you are.
oh, wow. Awesome. I'm doing well too. I'm doing good, and it's good to see you. And we're going to go ahead and get started. Oh, this episode was so messy.
It was.
It was
It
just
was.
messy indeed. I'm telling you. It was
Love
messy.
it.
But we're going to go ahead, for sake of time, we're going to go ahead and start at the when the all the gang is together. I guess they're celebrating. It looks like Kristen's birthday slash moving away to NYC, and we'll
Mm-hmm.
kind of pick it up from there. Yeah, everybody comes in, and one of the first things I really noticed, I don't know if you noticed this, but Mitch, was petting Luna, and it looked like Kristen is almost jealous of her own dog.
Yes. Yeah, because Mitch loves that dog now. And that's normal though, because I always say I shy away from talking about pets and things because people love their pets, and Mitch is no different. He is in
They do.
love with Kristen's dog, but not so much Kristen. And I think she feels it.
Yeah, and I mean, like, I couldn't understand. Like, it seems like, is it that maybe her self-esteem is a little bit lower than it should be, or she's suffering from low self-esteem? Because I mean, like, if I had a pet, well, actually, and I do, I would love for my friends to love my pets too. I wouldn't get excited
Hmm.
because they rub the pet on the head. That's kind of what people do with pets if they like them.
Right. Right. Yeah. I think it's a self-esteem issue, just trying to seek that confirmation, validation from Mitch, and just wanting to feel needed, wanted. And she's not getting that. Seems she hadn't had it in her past relationships. And she probably just knew 100% she would get it from the show. And she didn't. And the only thing she got was Alexis as a friend.
Yeah, that seems to be it. I don't even know if she's that close to the other wives, the other women. Um, I think there's another thing that another commentator pointed out, and I've been kind of looking at it myself. Kristen and Alexis seem to be bonding because they both seem to be very similar in that they like and need a lot of attention. They're attention seeking type people. What do you
Hmm.
think about that idea?
Okay, I can go with that idea because it is true they both do like that attention from the male and maybe a little bit of chase, but Stasha also likes it. So I wonder why they didn't bond as much with her, just going with that narrative. But yeah, I could
Hmm.
see that. And I
I
think
don't.
one thing.
I don't know. I don't know if I see Stasha as, when I say attention seeking, and I guess we all do it. I mean, everybody likes attention,
Mhm.
but I mean, I guess I'm saying to an unusually high degree. I don't see a Stasha as being somebody that seeks out attention from me, that in that way as Kristen or as Alexis, and maybe it's because she's a little more comfortable in her skin. I don't know, but go ahead. You were saying your premise on it, or your thoughts on it were.
Oh yeah, so I could see how those two connected and bonded so well though because Alexis is the more dominant person, and then Kristen is more laid back, and so Alexis can kind of control Kristen more, and she wouldn't be able to do that with Stasha. So I said that's the only way I could see that them three. But yeah, I feel Sasha showed us during the season, just with the love thing, just forcing Nate to love, wanting to love her, and then just wanting his all of his attention when he wasn't really giving it to her. And well, I
Okay.
thought he was doing a decent job of giving it, but it was never enough for Stasha. So that's the only reason why I mentioned her.
Oh, okay. You know what? I see what you're saying now, because you know what I feel about her with Stasha. I feel it's a little different. I feel like, well, maybe the same. You're right. Maybe sort of, kind of the same, because they're all kind of like this. Like if you picture a cup with a little tiny hole in it, So no matter
Mhm.
how much you fill that cup up, the cup is never going to be quite full because at the
Ah,
bottom there's that leak. And I feel like Stasha's that way. Like she always, like you said, she kept moving the
mhm,
bar for Nathan. Like, I want you to do this. Okay, so he would do
mhm.
this, and then now, oh, but you got to do that because otherwise, if you don't do that, I won't. Like you gotta love.
Yes.
First of all, I think in order to feel love and be loved, you've got to uh you've got to be in love with yourself. You've got to care about yourself. You got to know that you are enough. And some of these people are
Mhm.
dealing with some childhood trauma, damage,
Yeah.
missing parents that weren't there for them, don't know their parents, didn't have a relationship. Nate didn't have a relationship with his biological mother. And apparently
Right.
Stasha didn't have a relationship with her biological father. And these things, unfortunately, even for the strongest person, they all went on to be adults and successful to whatever different varying degrees, but it
Mhm.
still leaves a lot of damage in their psyche, and it seems like it's causing them problems in their life, like wow.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So true.
Yeah, so
I
i
like
i'm
that they
wondering.
touched on the
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I like that they touched on the therapy a lot this season. And I don't know if it's because so many of the cast needed it or, had issues, underlying issues where they needed to seek therapy. But I do like when they go into that because, like, I've heard so many people say, we all need therapy. I don't care what walk of life you came from, whether you had the perfect home growing up. There's something we experience, it seems like, in life, just in general, when you go out into public or start working your jobs, you will experience something life changing. Because that's just, I think, the way the world is just set up because there's so much cruelty and depression, anxiety, so many things that come on us. And some people say it's because of the food we eat. So we'll never get to the bottom of it, I don't believe. But I do like that
Right.
they brought that up a lot this season.
That's a good point. I wanted to ask you, what did you think of Justin telling the producers as they were, showing him, I guess before, as they were going into the house to celebrate this celebration, what he thought of the mood or the vibe in the at the party, and what he said to the producers. What did you think of that?
Well, Justin has turned a new leaf. So I think I would have been feeling the same way because just the energy he brought to the reunion, like I said before, it's like Justin saw himself on TV and saw that he was being too nice and he just wanted to show us a different side. So, I mean, rightfully so, no one really wanted to be around him because he unfollowed or whatever the situation was and blocked or
Hmm.
whatever. So I mean, I
Right.
can't really fault them. And he's my favorite entertainer on the show this season. And so I have to be honest, though, I can't really fault
Hmm.
the cast for feeling the way they do and then the energy being like it was.
Yeah, I think he brought a lot of that on himself. I think that grown
Yeah.
people want to go out and have a good time or gather together and have a good time without a lot of extra drama. I think that, mature
Hmm.
people don't need drama, don't want drama. And when you're
Yeah.
bringing drama and confrontation, or crying at every get together, you got to cry, you got to weep, you got to go through all these things like you're on your period. I don't know. It's just too much. It's too much. I
Yeah.
don't know any grown man that's got to weep every time they get together with a group of people. I don't understand it.
Right. Right.
I don't
And
even
then
know
Mitch
any.
and
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
no, and then Mitch, I still side eye Mitch and was it Miguel talking about, oh, I wish I could cry more. I think Justin did fine. No, guys.
No,
don't
yeah,
don't
that
exaggerate.
don't enable. Don't enable. I mean,
Right.
and I explained it before. I think there's nothing wrong with crying.
No.
It's the idea that you cry every day, all the time, at the drop of a hat. There's some kind of
Yeah.
emotional instability, which I think now the cast can see that he was emotionally unstable because of how he blocked and, like you said, blocked or unfollowed them, and then
Mhm.
followed them back, and then blocked and unfollowed them again. That's not normal. That's not
Yeah.
normal.
Right.
If I'm gonna unfollow you, we're gonna just stay unfollowed. you know.
Yeah. At
But what
least a
did you
period of
think?
time.
at least a period of time. But you know what I think happened though? So this is the thing what I think happened. I think he started following them again after the show came on because I think he realized, well, if I unfollow them, I won't get to see all their postings and their lives. I won't get the notifications, and I want to see if they're talking about me. I think that's what happened. I really do.
Right. Oh, it's possible, very possible.
Okay, well, we're gonna. I've got up on the screen. I've got Lindy and Miguel, and so we're gonna talk a little bit about because they were telling us. They let us know that they went to see. What did Lindy call it? A big girl house or something like that. She's so funny. What did you
She is.
think? Yeah, what did you think of that? That they're going to look at a big, beautiful home in San Diego. We know it's got to be at least $1 million. I mean, that type
Ooh.
of home. That's what I thought Stasha was going to have.
Mm. And she did not, but yeah, I think it's cute. They're progressing in their marriage, which is great. House hunting, is the norm, but it was funny that she was saying Miguel's place was small. I believe those were her very words. And so I
Hmm.
was wondering, what about her house? Like, why did they choose his house over hers? Because she didn't have one worth choosing. So I didn't like that she was trying to, downplay Miguel's house. And it seemed Miguel didn't like it either. But that home that they viewed, oh, I
Hmm.
forget what it was, but it was like on the second floor. It had the open plan where you could
Yeah.
look down. Oh, it was
Yes. Yes.
beautiful.
It was
I love
beautiful.
it.
I loved it. I loved it. I looked at homes like that in Texas, and back in the day, they were very affordable. But that same home out in
Oh,
California, that's probably, if not $1 million, very close to it, like eighty
okay.
nine nine five or something. I'm just saying,
Wow.
it's a beautiful home, but very expensive though. And I'm like
Hmm.
you. I was kind of wondering, like, wasn't Lindy the one that lived with the three roommates? Didn't she have three
Oh, I
roommates?
missed that.
That's why they couldn't go to her place because she had three roommates. She had two or three roommates, so they weren't going to be living in
Wow.
her little apartment, because she was sharing
See,
space. Yeah, she wasn't
and
she wasn't as independent as he was. He had his own living space.
And then she still complained about that. She moved and upgraded and still complain. I just don't know what to say about them, but it's cute and I'm glad that they are thinking about the future and planning on getting, the bigger house before having kids. That's very important because a lot of times we see people try to stuff children, into a home or they'll say you can never prepare, but there are some things that you can do to prepare for marriage and children. So I think that they're doing great on the
Mm.
right path. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And I think that just about covers them. What did you think
Hmm.
about this couple right here, Morgan and Ben? What did you think about
Oh,
the scene that we saw with them? What did you think? They went to Mutai, which I'm afraid for Ben. Why did he go to Mutai with this woman, and what did she end up doing with Ben in that scene? Do you
roughing
remember?
him up and putting him in a whole headlock. Oh, that's what I remember.
Yes, in between her muscular,
Yes.
masculine thighs. Like, I'm like, you know what? This show needs to quit. This show needs to quit. They
Yes.
do not mind. They do not mind having people in these situations where it's
Right.
almost like DV almost. Like, really?
Yes. And then did you
Women.
hear Morgan? She was like, we needed this during our marriage.
Oh my God. She's a whole man. She's a whole man.
She is.
She is
Yes. But
a
I
whole.
agree. Maybe I think they could have made it. I really do think they could have made it.
How?
I think
How in the world?
they
How do you think they could have made it?
Yeah, I just think Morgan was too stuck on the apology and she was just being too immature. And once Ben confronted her about her being in debt and not being all that she thought she was, it's like she just got insecure and was like, okay, this is my way out. And she just stuck to it. I don't think it was really the apology that she wanted. She was just embarrassed.
Mm. Oh. You think she was embarrassed about it, and you think that if she had not been embarrassed, you think they would have been okay?
Oh, yes. I think they would have been okay. She just knew that Ben wasn't really into her debt.
No,
and
he
and
definitely
what else
wasn't
was
into
she?
her debt.
Right.
But do you feel like she had gotten healing? Because my sense of it was, if it wasn't the you're not a nurse and you don't have your BS degree, I think that it would have been something else. I mean, she seemed like she was still dealing with a lot of anger issues toward her father, which she was then projecting out to Ben. Because you did not feel that at all?
I don't. I don't. I think that she just saw that he really wasn't that into her, and she just wanted to make it seem like it was her idea to move on.
I see what you're saying. Oh, so you're saying, oh, it wouldn't, they would not have made it because, okay, from what you're saying, Ben was not into Morgan, but had he been into her, they would have made
Right.
it.
Yes. Exactly.
I'm
That's
trying
how
to.
I feel. That's just you trying to picture it, go back, rewind through the season.
No, no, wait a minute. I'm looking at, look at what's on the screen. If you want to read that, because I'm trying to address it in text. What do you think about
I
that?
don't. I do not think. I think she's joking. Really?
Okay. I don't think she is. I think
Oh,
that
never mind.
our
I just saw the
moderator,
tear.
yeah, I think that our moderator extraordinaire, I think she is serious. I really
I
do.
see the tear
How is
now.
that possible? Oh, it's a
Well,
t-
see, I see.
I didn't see the emoji. Okay, I see it now too. Okay.
Yeah,
And then,
so I believe it. I think they could have made it. Morgan was just threw it two in her head.
well,
Yeah,
Dundee
but
says, I don't think Morgan was ever Ben's type. He likes blazing
nope.
ladies. Once Ben found out Morgan told that lie, he went to Justin to complain that he didn't want a liar for a wife. Oh my God. Yeah, exactly. But wasn't he kind of,
Yeah,
didn't he turn out to do the same thing, Dundee? What do you think? Did he turn out to do the same thing to his wife? Because he said, well, okay, I'm not going to keep going back to Justin and talking about our marital issues or whatever. But then what did he do? He kept calling, and old Dusty Justin putting him on speakerphone so Alexis could hear the whole thing. Oh my goodness.
right, right. Oh, it was a mess.
It was a mess. It was a mess. So and then on to the other couples. What did you think about Stasha and Nate? Like Stasha and
Oh,
Nate, apparently for 2 weeks they hadn't even been staying. He had left her place, told her to get out of his place. I've got this thing.
hmm
Like I tell people, it's like that Tony Braxton song, 7 whole days. If we're in a relationship, if I'm in a relationship with a person and 7 whole days go by and I haven't heard from you, keep
mm.
moving. Keep it moving. Keep it moving.
Less than that for me.
Exactly, exactly. I'm just saying, we get to 7 whole days. 7 whole days. Seven
Mm,
seven
mm,
whole days. That means days and nights. And you calling yourself
right.
my husband, you saying you're committed and you care about me, you haven't called me. Why was he calling her mother? Why was he calling
It,
Stasha's mother, you think?
it just all seems like it was planned because okay, you all haven't talked to each other in however many days, and now all of a sudden that the cameras are back, y'all are painting. It's not adding up. So I just feel like they did it just to wrap up the season and just keep going with the flow. I know a lot of people say, "Oh, it's scripted," and I try not to go with that narrative, but something just isn't. It's not adding up. And then Stasha acted like she didn't know her mother was talking to Nate. My mom would have told me if my person called her. She would have said, "Oh, your husband called, or whatever called me. How are y'all doing, or what's going on, or I talked to Nate yesterday, or any little thing." So that's just weird to me that they acted like they didn't know first, and now that they're all now that the cameras are back, now they're painting and trying to work through it. But you see, they still didn't work through anything because they were still bumping heads because Stasha couldn't get the attention from Nate that she wanted, and I guess like the set answers that she wanted. So it's just not going to
Mhm.
work.
You got a point there, because she does always come back to what it is that she wants. And one thing I can't
Yes.
understand with her is I've never really heard her ask Nate, "What do you need? What do you want?"
Oh, right.
You know,
Wow.
what is it you need from me? Because sometimes in getting what we want, sometimes it's
Mm,
important to give the other person what they need. Then they'll feel
mhm.
relaxed and comfortable enough with us. to give us what we want from them?
I need to
Hmm.
write that question down. That was just a whole good segment right in itself. What do you need from me?
Oh, thank you, darling, thank you, darling. And we covered Kristen and Morgan. Oh well, let's kind of put them back up here because we got to talk about this. Let's talk about the double date that Kristen and Alexis went on. What did you think about that double date?
I thought Homeboy was fine. Look, that's all I got. The one that was with Alexis. So it was
Alexis Day.
cute.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he was. I thought he was attractive. I did think he was nice
Yes.
looking. And but I don't know if it was like you said again. I don't know when I don't want to say scripted, but we know that when you're filming, there's certain things that you have to look a certain way toward the camera, but not at
Mm-hmm.
the camera. So I was wondering because he really wasn't looking a lot at Alexis. I was wondering, was he really even attracted to Alexis? Did you get a sense of
Oh,
whether you felt like he was attracted to
there.
her or what?
I don't know, but they knew each other. Oh wow, I hadn't thought about that. I think it was nerves. I'm gonna blame it on nerves
Okay, so
because the
he would.
cameras.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe he was nervous because he did. Now that you mentioned it, he did look down a lot and away. Oh no. I don't know. I think they just did this just to have another scene and to show us that they are trying. I think it was cute. I like that they went back and allowed them Kristen
Okay.
and Alexis to do this segment, but maybe not. And I thought Kristen's date looked a lot like Mitch. He reminded me of Mitch. It was
Ah!
like maybe Mitch's, I don't know, cousin or something.
Oh my goodness, they're finding his first cousin to take her. Well, now that brings me to a interesting question. I'm sorry. Go ahead. You want to say something more? Go ahead.
Oh no, I was just gonna say exactly, but yes, I did like Alexis Day, and then I could also kind of see that he reminded me somewhat of Justin too. So I was like, maybe I'm just too stuck on Justin and Mitch, and I just
Alexis
can't move
or
past
Mitch?
them.
Oh, yeah. I felt like there was some of that going on with the two ladies that were on the date because that's what I was just going to come back and ask you. Did you feel like, um, in any way, shape, or form, that Kristen still has feelings, strong feelings for Mitch? You know, in
Yes.
this whole segment at the house and the way she played it, I mean, she seems to be still very open to Mitch. I mean, what about when
Oh,
I
for
guess when he gave
sure.
her the gifts that he gave her in the card?
And she said it was thoughtful. Oh, it was thoughtful. And then she said something along the lines of there is hope. And I'm like, oh gosh, no, Kristen, don't go back down that path. And I love what Alexis said when Kristen was trying to go back down memory lane, like, oh, maybe I should have, gave it another try off camera. And Alexis said the perfect thing. Do not let one moment in time make you change your decision because oftentimes that's what happens. And I'm so glad Alexa said it because that's exactly what Kristen was ready to do is go right
Yeah,
back to me
yes.
and mess up.
And mess up. And then what's the point? You're headed out to New York City, which I don't know if she thinks that's going to be an easier dating market. A lot of people are saying it's not. But
Oh.
best of luck. New York City? I mean, come on. With all those models out there, she's just in the same place where she's at in California. You got a lot of beautiful people. Not to say that Kristen is not beautiful, but I think until she
Hmm.
finds her strength of character to feel special, to understand and appreciate herself, I don't think she's
Hmm.
going to find that she's going to get that appreciation from men because she doesn't have it for herself. It's kind of like you have to model what you want people to treat you as. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Just have some kind of
Yeah.
sense of integrity, some sense of importance,
Hmm.
and just kind of put yourself first in some cases. But
Yeah.
I don't know. It's been a long season. These people, I'm so glad to have them off the screen right now.
Me too. Honestly, me too. They didn't bring too much. Yeah, the where are they now really wasn't much update.
It's just yeah. I mean, you got new hairstyles. A lot of the ladies got the blonder hair. Stasha's highlights look nice.
Yes,
She
very
looked nice
nice.
as always. I noticed even Kristen and what's the other young lady? Lindy. Lindy went with some lighter highlights in her hair also. They looked nice,
Hmm.
you know, but
Yes.
I don't know if you were to pick a person that you saw the most growth in this season as we wrap up, what who do you think what guy and what woman would you say had the most growth this season, if any?
I would say Lindy and Nate, maybe.
Okay. Not
Lindy
Mitch.
and Nate.
Okay.
Oh God, no. Mitch is my least. Let me say it one last time. He is my least favorite person on the show, and I'm just like,
Oh,
I thought it was going to be Miguel, but Mitch took the cake.
yeah, yeah. For a while, Miguel was not really one of my favorites either. But I don't know. I
Hmm.
I will say, all that aside, I will say I think that Mitch had the most growth. It definitely wasn't Justin. They did have some growth. I will say that he's probably take a close second place. But I really saw that Mitch. I think Mitch for the first time actually saw like who he really is. I don't know if he really had any
Hmm.
kind of self awareness before this show. I think the show
Hmm.
brought him self awareness, and now he knows that he's a big old curmudgeon. You know, he's a very contrarian type person that's always going opposite of what the group wants to do, and that if he
Hmm.
wants to be in a social situation with a person together in a
Yeah.
relationship, it's going to require compromise. So I think Mitch kind of got that. For the
Okay.
women, for the ladies, um, hmm, that's a good one for the ladies. Oh boy, I
Don't
definitely
say
wasn't.
Alexis because it
It
wasn't.
was. Well, no, it definitely wasn't Alexis. I don't think she sees herself at all. I don't think she has. She's like Mitch. She has zero, like Mitch was at the beginning. She has zero self awareness. I don't see it being Kristen, obviously, either because she has not improved in herself. I don't know any of the women really improved. I don't know.
Hmm.
Hmm. Yeah. I don't see a clear winner for the women. So I'm just gonna say Mitch. It was Mitch and. Um, yeah, it was just Mitch. I mean,
All right.
the men improved, the women did not. But tell us what you got going on over on your channel, as we get ready to close out, and what you got going on for next week, and what are you going to be doing? You're going to be following up. We're going to be following up doing. You're going to be doing Married at First Sight next season as well.
Oh, yes, yes, for sure. So make sure you all stay tuned. We will be back next season for Married at First Sight. But for now on my channel, I will resume doing my Let's Chat live. So I may take a break this week for the holiday. I may pop up, you never know. But I'll do a lot of traveling this week. So make sure you all subscribe and turn on your notifications and check my community tab because I do post there on my updates, and I'm going to try to get that Married Living Separately live in next weekend. So stay tuned, and I appreciate the support. I appreciate this opportunity. You can find me Kimberly Reviews on YouTube, Kimberly Reviews underscore on Instagram, and Kimberly Reviews on Facebook.
Absolutely. Dibot is in the audience kind of acting decent tonight, but I still got to work on
All
programming
right.
Nightbot. Thank you, Monique King. Thank you all, Roro. Thank you, Dundee. Thank you all so much for being in the chat. Thank you
Yeah.
especially, new member. I got a new member, Vivian Designs Channel. Thank you so much for joining. We appreciate you so
Awesome.
much. You guys that are out there, please hit the like button. If you're on the replay, leave a comment. Tell us what you think about what we said tonight. Tell us what you think about this group. Who's going to end up staying together? Will Stasha and Nate make it, do you think? What about Lindy and Miguel? Give us your opinions. Do you think they're going to make it? Do you think they're going to buy a new house? Guys, wishing you the best for the holiday season coming up for Thanksgiving. Please stay safe, enjoy your family, and we're on our way out of here. Say goodbye, Kimberly.
Take care, y'all.
All right, there we go.